Okay, welcome to Boxes of Comics. This is live stream Tuesday Night Live. Um, this week we have another special guest. His name is Thor's cousin. Say hello.
What up?
Okay, so this is very good because we have Thor's cousin, and this week we're going over Thor. Look at them. They're almost identical. All right. So, a little bit about last week. We went over a big chunk of the book, about like the first 27 pages. But this week we're going to keep it shorter because I like to keep my live streams about 30 minutes. And look who else is joining us. It's Davey Wang.
Yo, hello, what's up? Can you hear me?
Whoa, look at that. Okay.
Oh, Thor's cousin. How you doing?
Hey.
He's doing well. He's bulking up.
Okay, I think that's the best. So, like I said last week, we went through the first 27 pages of our book, Everything You Need to Know About Marvel. We went through characters like Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Wasp, original Ant-Man, Iron Man, Galactus, Namor, Captain America, and a bunch more. But this week we start on Thor, and let's begin. So there's Thor. Make him look pretty chunky. Okay. So with this book, it's not like a big story. It's more like information and facts that you may or may not already know. So with that being said, I'm going to read off some information and maybe you guys give your input about Thor and what you think.
Sure.
So it says his real name is Thor Odin's son. He has lots of strengths, such as immensely strong. He has warrior skills because he's highly trained. His weaknesses is, in order to fly, he needs his hammer, and his hammer is Mjolnir. So that's kind of interesting that he can't fly by himself. He needs a hammer to fly. So I don't know if that's like quite a superpower. But another one is when Thor was originally made in the comics, he did have a secret identity. He wasn't just always Thor all the time. His human identity was Donald Blake, and that was his who he was on Earth, and he was a doctor. And so his hammer would become like a walking stick. So that way he could disguise the hammer. So it's pretty tricky. So yeah, there's also another Thor, which might be coming in the new Thor 4. That's Jane Foster, who was in the first 2 Thor movies, but not in the Thor Ragnarok. So what do you guys think about Lady Thor?
So we see that in the last movie, last movie of Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the Avengers Endgame, there was a brief introduction of why is she there. As a fan of Marvel Comics, I am happy about it. I am very happy about Lady Thor showing up. However, I just felt that, when Thor was kind of merged with the Guardians of Galaxy universe, and now is kind of replaced by the Lady Thor in the main MCU, character.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm like a bittersweet on that. I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Same time, I do want to see a, respected conclusion of the Thor.
I see.
Some fan might know, you know. I'll just stop it.
What do you think, Davey?
Sorry, I'm a bit laggy, but
Okay.
what was your question again?
What do you think about Lady Thor?
It's like the internet is cutting off for me. Oh, I
Lady
think that's a pretty
Thor.
nice implementation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What's her origin in the comics? It's because she is diagnosed, right, with cancer, and Thor sacrifices himself for her to turn herself into Thor. So I don't know if they're gonna do that as a canon story in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But it's totally interesting to see how will they implement that.
Yes.
So I'm
Very
pretty
interesting.
excited to see how they do that.
Yes, that'll be quite interesting. And then Chris Hemsworth, when they were interviewing him about Thor 4, he did say that he thinks that male Thor, the Thor that he plays, is going to stay along with the new Thor. So that'll be interesting if there are two Thors.
That'd be a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, so that might be cool. A little bit more information is it says Thor isn't just the Norse god of thunder. He is also the protector of realms of his world. Asgard with his hammer, Mjolnir, Thor rains thunder and lightning down on his enemies. No wonder he is one of the most powerful superheroes around in the Marvel universe. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will be moving on from Thor. And now we go on to Captain Marvel. So here is Captain Marvel. So you can see. So I think I'm going to let you guys give your opinions on Captain Marvel before I read off information on this one. So if Ian wants to start off again.
Yeah. I believe Captain Marvel first appeared in the What If series. I don't know what is the first appearance of what exact number. However, the first appearance of the MCU of Captain Marvel, I believe, is the first sequel of the first Infinity War. End of Infinity War, at the ending credit cookies, there was a Captain Marvel. She is OP. We get it. She is almost as powerful as what is it? As powerful as Thanos, actually.
Yeah.
In terms of like power ranking. So it's funny how Captain Marvel was appeared in the right time when, the Disney was kind of having some kind of, a quote unquote diversification project. We do see that, Black Panther was there, and now we have a Captain Marvel, which is good. I do appreciate, the appearance of the Cara Danvers. She is quite powerful, and I'm excited to see her in different movies. But I hope that how MCU will really bring it up, her and collaborating with different superheroes in further movie besides Avengers series as it came to the end. So,
yeah. So I don't know where Davey went. I think he's gonna log into his computer. But yeah, that's pretty interesting because obviously there was a bit of backlash, with her coming in so late. Oh no, there he is. Let me add him back. You're back. So anyways, it's kind of interesting because they did add her in later to the MCU. She was one of the two movies that came between Infinity War and Endgame, the other one being Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I covered in last week's YouTube video, so go ahead and check that out. But another interesting thing is from her universe, I guess, like her part of the MCU, there's the Skrulls. and I think they're going to play a big part in not only the sequel but also in later phases, maybe phase 5 or phase 6, because right now phase 4 is going to be the multiverse, so that'll be interesting. And so, Davey, do you have anything to say about Captain Marvel? Oh, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Nothing. It's not on my end. Oh, there you go. Now unmute
Wait,
yourself.
can you hear me?
Oh, there. Yes,
There
now we
we go.
can.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I changed devices and my mic just got. So
That's okay.
what I think about Captain Marvel, she's pretty interesting. She's a bit overpowered from the MCU. That's why you see on Endgame she doesn't take much of the action because she's a bit overpowered. But she's a pretty good addition to the story since in her movie we see the Skrulls, right? And Skrulls are interesting characters. You don't know if they're playing actual good guys now or if they're gonna form part into the bigger part of Avengers, which is Secret Wars, right?
Right.
So I feel for now, Captain Marvel, it's interesting to see her in the MCU, but we don't know where they're leading towards to with her story.
Right. That'll be pretty interesting to see, kind of with the Skrulls. And like I said, obviously phase 4 is going to be the multiverse because you have WandaVision coming up as the Disney Plus TV show. And then you have Doctor Strange, the sequel. And so that's going to be multiverse because it's in the name, Multiverse of Madness. But then an interesting movie in phase 4 is Spider-Man. So my personal theory on it is WandaVision is going to open up the multiverse. And then the third Spider-Man movie is going to go in depth of the multiverse because I don't know if you guys saw, but they're going to bring back Jamie Foxx's Electro. And he said he's not going to be blue in this one, so I don't think it's going to be the same Electro as Amazing Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Electro. But I think it'll be kind of interesting to see him back. Right. But I think Spider-Man 3 is going to somehow be entangled into this multiverse. And then Doctor Strange's movie, which won't be coming out until 2022 now because of coronavirus, I think that movie is going to find a way to close everything off and put everybody back where it belongs.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Like what? Michael Keaton's Vulture is going to come back in Spider-Man, and that's going to be another key. And that's what I'm hoping for. Phase 4 of the MCU, as we're expecting the Eternals supposed to be, quote unquote, the first movie of the MCU, Phase 4. However, it's been postponed due to the situation. However, as Davey mentioned, it's great that Skrull and Kree will bring up a big picture of how MCU are going to expand it beyond Odin, beyond Asgard, beyond Kree and Skrull, because you have Eternals. So and also another fun thing is now Fox sold all the rights of the Marvel character they have, like X-Men and stuff. So that's something you could totally look forward to.
So that's totally interesting that you mentioned about Fox selling it to Disney. It really opens up the idea of it with WandaVision and bringing the X-Men towards the MCU. So we'll have to see how that kind of goes with.
Yeah, for sure.
Very true.
Okay, so that's Captain Marvel for you. I'll read off some fun facts before we move on. But it does say in an alternate universe titled the Marvel Mangaverse, so that maybe that's one of the universes explored in Doctor Strange 2. It says a nearly invulnerable Carol Danvers dons the costume, shield, and moniker of Captain America, while Steve Rogers is just an ordinary person during the days of World War II. So that's interesting to know. Some history about her. It says she was first Miss Marvel, and then she became Warbird, and then Binary, and then Captain Marvel. So like she's gone through an evolution. And then it says next generation, when teenager Kamala Khan's inhuman shape-shifting abilities kick in, she is inspired by her hero, Carol Danvers, to become the new Miss Marvel and fight crime in Jersey City. And so that's pretty interesting to know because that character, Kamala Khan, she's in the new Avengers video game.
Oh, the new video game.
Yeah, for the PS5 coming out. So that'll be interesting, and that game looks pretty cool.
Cool.
So any final thoughts before we move on from Captain Marvel?
Another fun fact, Shazam in DC was actually Captain Marvel.
Yes.
That's another fun fact.
I do know that. So that's pretty cool. So moving on, we now go to, this is Black Widow. And it might be hard to see because it's long ways, but there's Black Widow with all her facts. So a little bit is, her name is Natasha Romanoff, but she goes by the Black Widow. She was approximately born in 1928 in the comics. What else? So some of her friends are Hawkeye, Captain America, Iron Man, and Bucky Barnes. And what else? Okay, so here's one. Black Widow is sent by the Russian KGB to spy on Stark Industries. She fakes a romance with Tony Stark, but soon he figures it out, and Natasha switches sides and becomes one of Iron Man's trusted allies. And so that's a bit like Iron Man 2 when she's introduced into the MCU, because she's sent by S.H.I.E.L.D. to recruit Tony Stark.
Right.
But in that movie, she recruits Iron Man and not Tony Stark, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, floor is yours.
Yeah, we saw her first as, Chase mentioned it, Iron Man 2, and she became the main character, Avengers. Then we saw her until, quote unquote, her death was listed Infinity War. No, sorry, Endgame.
Yes.
And we're expecting Black Widow solo movie, which is supposed to happen between Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. That's the timeline that fans are expecting, that what's going to happen during that time. Actually, that is the first movie that Marvel would release as a Phase 4. Very interesting, because that was supposed to be released this year, but now they decided to push it back to 2021. I believe she will open a lot of mystery between S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra, because how she is related, which is like, the Red Room, and also what is it? How KGB was related with Hydra as well.
Oh yeah.
That will be fun. Further information should be able to find it on Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3.
And then she was also a big part in Captain America 2, The Winter
Right.
Soldier, because she followed Captain America around. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see how they delayed it to 2021. So it leaves you to anticipate this movie more, because it's going to open more about, like, as Ian said, about S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, and even like all the agents like that met her in her past. So I found that like it's pretty, something most fans are waiting to know more about, this mysterious backstory she had in the Red Room, how her training went, her, her circle per se of trained special spy assassins. So we'll see how it all connects all the previous movies with the newer movies. And they might open the possibility towards the new agency, which is S.W.O.R.D., right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So, and speaking of S.W.O.R.D., before we move on to Black Panther, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Disney Plus is going to give Samuel L. Jackson, who's Nick Fury, his own S.W.O.R.D. TV show. So that'll be pretty cool, because as of right now, S.H.I.E.L.D. is dead and has been dead since Captain America 2.
Right.
So, because that movie, Hydra infiltrated and took him out and kind of made Captain America the bad guy heading into Civil War. So that's pretty interesting to see how they go from S.H.I.E.L.D. to S.W.O.R.D. And I'm very interested to see how they do that. Moving on, our last character for the night will be Black Panther, T'Challa. And so I'll read off some facts, and then once again, you guys can give your thoughts. So it starts off with, after a long romance with Storm, T'Challa finally has to break up with her due to the Phoenix Force possessing all 5 X-Men, and it results in Wakanda's destruction. So that's kind of interesting that him and Storm were together, and I wonder if the MCU will do that when they finally bring in the X-Men, whenever that is. In an alternate universe, in the ravaged world of Earth X, T'Challa has been mutated by Terrigen Mist into a true humanoid Black Panther. So he becomes half human, half Black Panther in this universe. And Black Panther gains many powers from the juice of the secret heart-shaped herb. It is said that the herb will kill anyone who's not worthy of the Black Panther. So that's interesting, because we did end up seeing that in the Black Panther movie, where Michael B. Jordan's character had killed him off and threw him into the lake and became King of Wakanda. And then he was brought back in through his mom and his sister, and they gave him the herb, and he became Black Panther and saved the day. So that's all the information I have. So if you guys want to discuss, you can.
I believe Black Panther was the highest. I believe it's the highest rated out of entire MCU Phase 3 based on Rotten Tomato. Well, good story, to be honest, but same time, I do want to say, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman was a good actor. Moving on to this Black Panther, for sure. It's a very interesting character. Supposed to have Black Panther 2 coming up 2021, I believe, but I'm not sure how it's going to work out now. The same time, yes, the relationship between Black Panther and X-Men, with the synergy that Marvel bought entire rights from the Fox, would absolutely expanded. I'm also excited for the Shuri, Wakanda princess. She did play quite a good role, actually playing with the Carol Danvers, her co-worker's daughter.
Oh yeah.
I forgot her name.
Monica Rambeau.
Yes, Veronica. So with that synergy, I'm quite excited for the Black Panther. and also Black Panther could be another big part of the MCU Phase 4.
Yeah. I think since they got rid of a bunch of major characters in Phase 3, maybe Black Panther, whether they're going to go with Shuri now becoming Black Panther, or if they do decide to recast Black Panther, I believe that character in its form will be one of the new leaders of the Avengers. And then I think he'll help create the team known as the Young Avengers. And that can focus on Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And when they bring in the Fantastic Four, maybe that they incorporate the Human Torch into the Young Avengers too. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, also even bringing Inhumans into the MCU.
Yes.
Khan. Yeah. First of all, I would like to pay respects to Chadwick Boseman. He was a great actor. Black Panther was a great movie. He actually made Black Panther look really good in the movies. But now we will have to wait to see how MCU will continue into the story of Black Panther, because they still have Black Panther 2 in the timeline. And we'll see if either recasting would not be the best option they have, but also, maybe passing the mantle towards another person like Shuri, as you guys said, right? Shuri. And we already know that Monica Rambeau is already in the MCU because Captain Marvel and the new WandaVision, we can see her in the trailers in WandaVision. Totally can see. So we know her character is gonna come up soon, and then we'll see how the Black Panther mantle is passed on, or even if they do something with Infinity Stones or whatnot to just kind of set the balance with what happened.
Yeah, and going off of the Infinity Stones thing, I had read just like a fan theory saying that maybe they can use the Infinity Stones to bring back Michael B. Jordan's character, even though he's dead, and then he can become like the new Black Panther, and that could fulfill his story arc. But me personally, I think that they're done with the Infinity Stones after all 10 years of having them. So I would personally like to see Michael B. Jordan come back as Black Panther or the new Black Panther, but I'd like to see it in a different way that doesn't involve the stones, because I feel like the stones are done and now they need to move on.
I feel that's really that you're bringing up. And I feel that with Doctor Strange, the multiverse of madness, it might bring him from a different multiverse, so it'll connect and maybe just bring the Black Panther that way instead of using the stones.
Yeah.
So.
Into more the mystical kind of thing.
For sure. Well, that's all the characters I want to keep it at, as we're arriving on half an hour, and I got to watch the Lakers win again. So thank you guys for having me, or thank you guys for coming on to my show. It was a blast. So
total pleasure.
Any final thoughts or comments you'd like to say?
For sure. Hopefully Disney made a proper choice of delaying Black Widow and having Mulan released on Disney Plus. But WandaVision it's really something. Looks like there's someone just commented it, but I'm not sure about that.
No, let me see if I can get back to it. I think it's just David DT. That looks like David Ty.
Exposed.
Could be wrong. He's always lurking in the shadows, that David. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's all for today's show. Thank you guys for joining. I did write up a new script, and it'll be talking about Hawkman, and he's going to be in the new, is it not Shazam, Black Adam. Hawkman's going to be in the new Black Adam movie coming out. So on doing a video on that. But thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys later.
Awesome. Thank you for inviting us.
Thanks for having us.
Your guest.
Yeah. And